Oh, by the way, I just checked, and on the Samsung, if you long press the empty screen, it'll bring up widgets, and you can scroll through the widgets, and there's some that are blank, or that'll set reminders. So you can pick a file that will come up in a widget that you can paste on one of your home screens.
Good advice.
Roberta has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Roberta, go ahead. Just unmute yourself, Roberta.
But it'll quit in a minute. And then the dog's barking.
What happened?
I think the dog got her.
Yeah, something happened because she's disappeared.
I think she probably meant to close, or she probably clicked the button she thought it was muting it, but she closed the session, so she'll be back in shortly.
Dog did it.
Transcript.
No, I didn't do that one.
Reverted. The transcript called her reverted instead of Roberta.
Yes, indeed.
Not perfect.
I have a question, a Google question.
Go ahead.
I've been having trouble forwarding mail through a Google account, and it says you're only allowed an account that has no more than 4 phone numbers. And I wanted to set up for my club an independent account from me. And yet it still requires my personal phone number to set it up. Any ideas?
So Jim, are you setting up, you're talking about Gmail now in a Google account, right?
Correct, with the forwarding.
So if you, for your club, if you set up, you should be able to set up a separate Google account and identify it. What I did is for our club, our Silvercom CTC club, you know, the name, it was I can't remember what, I think the name on the club is the president is the first name and Silvercom CTC is the last name. And then of course, you know, you just make it up, you make a person up and put a phone number in there, which I think was our resort phone number that I left. And then you create the account.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is the only phone numbers I have, excuse me, are the ones on my mobile device.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you will
limit you to 4 uses of that number.
Right. Yeah, does your club, where does your club meet? Does it just virtual or do you have a location?
Right now it's meeting virtually. We had been meeting at the senior center.
Right.
And then when the COVID hit, we went all virtual, and we're staying that until it becomes safer out there.
You need a virtual number. You need a number because you'll need a number because for the security reasons, they're going to want to send you either a text message or an email to confirm the location, and you're going to need a phone number for that. And you really don't want to use your own personal one because if you ultimately decide to leave the club or give it to somebody else, you want it as sort of a neutral phone number.
Yeah. You think it would take one of those Google numbers?
Google Voice.
I don't know.
Voice?
I don't know whether it'll accept it. I've never tried it.
I don't know.
By
There's
the
got to
way,
be.
Roberta, welcome back.
Okay. There's got to be a way, Jim, of coming up with. There's got to be another way of getting a phone number somewhere. Do you have a cell? You just don't want it tied to yourself. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, you don't want it tied to yourself because then it creates problems if you want to move on. So I'm not quite sure. And since there's probably no, I mean, you could create a Magic Jack number, and you could, if you had a Magic Jack's really cheap, it's only about $30 a year. You could create a number on that, and that'd be a cheap way of doing it. Does your club have any money? Does it, or is it all just a no fee, or do they have some money?
Oh, we've got money.
So then, the Magic Jack is so cheap. I mean, I have a Magic Jack and a phone number associated with it. And I think it was $35 for 3 years or something. It was really cheap. And
That's cheap. No. I have it. You get that for a year.
For a year.
Right.
And you get a number, you can get a number with that. And it's and that would be fine. Just set an account up with Magic Jack, get a Magic Jack device, and then you've got a phone number that is specific for the club.
Can you go back in and change the number?
In Magic Jack?
Well, just
No,
select
for
the
Google.
number.
The verification number that Google uses for the account. What I'm
Well, that
trying to
Magic
do
Jack
is
number-
I'm
the
a
Magic-
bit older, and I'm trying to back things away so that if I pass away, the club doesn't go down because it's all in my name.
No, but
I've
you
seen
just
that
give the
happen
Magic
too
Jack.
often.
Yeah, but you just give the Magic Jack to whoever took over the club, and they'd have the number with it.
It's still a physical device, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and you could just give it to whoever took over the club.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Thank you.
Mhm.
We're missing part of the team today, yes?
We are. Hewie is away.
You got a better
And so-
offer?
He did. He's working for the elections. Your elections down there. I think is there elections coming up? There's something. Either
Must be
electing
local.
Yeah.
local elections coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's on. He did this last year. He's on the. He does something with elections, and so there was a training session Monday morning. So
If he's really
Roberta.
telling the truth.
Roberta,
like the truth. Yeah. Well, he did it last year, so I'm assuming that it's true because he did it last year.
Don't you remember the movie Playing Time, same time next year?
Yeah.
Ron, Roberta has a hand up.
Go ahead, Roberta. You're back, Roberta. You're
Yeah,
back. You pushed the wrong button, didn't you?
I committed suicide somehow.
Yeah, you probably pushed the wrong button.
Between the phone and the dog, I didn't know what I was doing. I have an iPhone 6, and I had the battery replaced when everybody's batteries were crashing and not lasting. Now it's been a couple of 3 years, I don't know exactly. And it's starting to, I have to carry a backup battery with me in my purse to even use it. So do I have options to get another battery, or
Sure.
how does anybody know?
Sure. I had a battery just replaced in my phone. You can replace it in your iPhone. Probably, you're probably looking at around $60-$70 to replace the battery in it, including all the taxes and everything like that. And there will be Hewie or Dewey did a big iFixit. There's iFixit, and there's a whole bunch of battery replacement. Do you live in a rural area or an urban center?
No,
Ron,
Orlando.
it's you break, I fix.
You break, I okay.
fix.
Yeah, Dewey, do they do batteries?
Yes,
Oh,
they
yes,
do.
that's one of their primary things.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
They also have a license with Samsung.
Okay. You break, I fix. What does it do? You break, I fix it?
Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
see.
you break, I fix.
Right.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah.
They're
They'll
not owned by a
they'll
major
pop
insurance company.
they'll put a new battery in there for you. Be just like new.
Yeah, it takes about less than 2 hours.
Someone said
Are you sure
something
you
about
can-
an insurance company. Say about the insurance company.
They probably deal with insurance companies if you.
Actually, you break, I fix is owned by a major insurer now
Oh,
of major insurer of cell phones and these type of things.
oh, but I
Yeah, the
don't.
trouble
have
with the
any
iPhone is though that you can't take the phone, you can't take the battery out of an iPhone like you can with an Android phone.
No, but they do iPhones. They literally
Mhm.
unsolder it and solder it back in like it's
Mhm.
supposed to be.
Yeah, they do. They do phones all the time. They do. That's not a problem. How they get it out and how they put it back in, you can actually
Well,
watch videos on that if you look at YouTube, and they'll show you some videos on it. But I don't want to tackle that. So yeah, just take it in there. They'll put a new battery in.
For your
Okay, that's-
information, most Android phones have internal batteries, not removable.
Yeah,
They all
that's
have
changed. Once they
numbers.
started making the phones water resistant, that's when they had to really seal them.
Right.
And you could no longer take your battery out.
After the Note 5, I bought a Note 5 for my wife because we could swap batteries. But after that, I have a Note 9 and you can't, your battery is fixed in the phone.
Best Buy replaced mine like a couple, 3 years ago, but that's all I know. Then it was under some kind of warranty.
Yeah, well, they have a year warranty on it, but
But
I was
it's-
very pleased and very surprised how fast these people worked on the phone.
Okay, thank you.
Also, the new iPhones are out. Have you thought about a new phone?
Yes, I've been debating because I want to get a watch that I can make a phone call from. But that means it'll do the i6, but my phone plan is a prepaid plan. I only pay $100 a year.
Right.
And I can't use an Apple Watch on that plan. I have to go to the $1,000 a year plan. So,
Welcome to Apple. Welcome to Apple. Only wealthy people have Apple stuff.
well, if I go to Android, because I have an Android, I have a PC. If I go to Android, I don't understand how to switch. I don't know.
The Amazon Watch works very well as a phone.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Watch?
Yep.
Because I'm alone, either in the yard, by the canal, in my car. If something happens, I need my watch to be able to make an emergency call.
Yep. Yep. I play the Dick Tracy trick all the time. It works really well.
What does that mean, Dick Tracy?
Tracy talked to his watch.
Oh, okay.
And the watch actually talked back.
Yep. It does now too.
I'm 78 now, and I'm thinking more in terms of that I really need a safety plan.
Dewey, so Roberta, I have a new video coming out this week. It's on the Galaxy Watch 4, but it talks about all the security and health features about watches in general as well. So you might want to watch that. I'm just finishing it up. It'll be out this week. I'll play it next week as well. So this week, Dewey called me and I didn't have my phone with me. And I answered him on my watch.
Hey, great.
Yeah, we had a nice little chat and I was talking to Dewey on my Galaxy 4 watch. How did it sound, Dewey?
Absolutely amazing. You sounded very well. I was just blown away.
Yeah, we were talking away on my watch.
My wife told me I sounded better on the watch than I did on the phone. So
So that's a Samsung watch.
Yeah, I had the Samsung Galaxy. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out costs and what kind of, the phone plan is the expensive part, because that's every year. You know,
well,
like
I have an Android, a Pixel phone, and I go through T-Mobile. I pay $60 a month for 2 lines under their senior plan. And that's unlimited.
okay, because that's my problem is that plan.
Right.
So
Roberta, we're talking about actually 2 different things here. The first is you can buy a watch that has a SIM card in it. And this means your watch is technically a phone. And this, if it has a SIM card in the watch, then that is a separate plan. And usually you have to pay extra for the SIM card. What Bob and I are talking about.
Version.
Yeah, the LTE version, right. Now, what Bob and I are talking about is where your phone is paired, or your watch is paired to your phone. In other words, by Bluetooth, your watch is paired to your phone. And so you're really, your watch is phoning through the phone. So there is no cost, right? It's the same. You're just using your phone, right? It's linked to your phone. If you don't have your phone, it's not going to work. So we're talking about 2 different things here. All right. What you're talking about,
you need to carry your phone with you in order to be able to use what Ron and I are talking about.
right?
Oh, no, I need something where if I forgot my phone, if I'm working in the yard and I fall in the canal,
Right,
then I can call.
right. And then you'll
That
need
gets
the
expensive.
you need the LTE version with that. And most of the what you need to do is talk to the cell provider you want to deal with, because they're usually marketed through the cell service, whoever, because they have their own plans with them. And you might find some really good deals at Verizon or T-Mobile, whatever but you really want to talk to the people.
Yeah, Roberta, I carry my phone everywhere. When I get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, I take the phone with me. I've had falls.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. I would have my watch on me, but I don't have my phone.
Well, I have the phone. I don't carry the watch.
It's very simple as far as a watch and a phone. If you always have your phone with you, you do not need, in my estimation, the LTE version. If you don't always have your phone with you, then you better get the LTE version.
And you're saying LTD?
LTE.
E as in Edward.
Long-term elephant.
LTE, okay.
It has Roberta, it has a SIM card in it. They're usually about another $100. Like the Apple Watch is about $100 more. I think the Galaxy Watch is extra as well. Hey, Dewey, how much more is it?
$50 for the Galaxy Watch.
Oh, only $50
extra
more.
for LTE.
There you go. See, it's not
So
an
that's
Apple.
nothing because it's once, but the plan is every month,
Yes,
every
Yes.
year.
yes.
Like
Yep.
my iPhone 6, I've had maybe 6 years. And so I just had one expense, but it's the plan that's kicking me every month.
Right, correct.
And right now I'm only paying $100 a year, but I don't have Wi-Fi and I don't have data. I just have the phone and I can use the hotspot at McDonald's or wherever if I actually need the internet.
Ron, I'm going to break. Can I break in for a second?
You can.
It's time for the rest of you guys to take over because I have to leave.
Goodbye.
Have a
You're
good
gonna miss a
show.
good show.
I know, but I can't be in two places at the same time.
Okay, we'll work on admitting all.
Double Zoom.
For those of you who may have joined, we've enabled a new feature on the bottom called live transcript. And if you hit the bottom, you'll see a live transcript, and this will give you a live transcript of the show as we're talking. If you have hearing problems, you can certainly turn that on now.
Why doesn't it show on a Chromebook?
Pardon me?
It does not show up on my Chromebook. It does
we
on
haven't
the
tested-
Windows.
Sorry, we haven't tested it on the Chromebook. I'm not sure about that.
Ron, do you want me to handle incoming people?
I'm taking care of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
okay.
that. Okay, so we're going to start the show now. Let me get going. Tech for Senior. It is the 18th of October. It's a gorgeous day out today. Welcome, everybody. We have a great show for you today. You probably have noticed that my co-host, Hewie, is not with us today. He's healthy. He's fine. In fact, he's out moonlighting. He's going to be doing some electioneering stuff, and he needs some training. Now, he did this last year. So he did miss a Monday. And when he rewatched the show last year, he was mad at me because he said I never mentioned his name once. All right. So today I want everybody to, when I say I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and I want everybody to say Hewie, okay? Because then I can say, okay, there was 80 times that we said your name today, and you don't have to be upset. So, all right, let's try this.
Do you have to unmute everybody?
Well, you just say it anyway.
Okay.
We'll just say it. Don't have to unmute. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hewie.
Hewie.
Yay.
There we go.
I miss you, Hewie.
There we go. So he's gonna watch this tonight, and I think he'll be tickled pink that we mentioned his name 80 times in the first 3 minutes, right? So he can't be upset. So, excuse me, I'm having trouble with my voice today. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Tech for Senior. We have a great show for you today. For those of you who are over on our YouTube feed, we of course are streaming this to YouTube. So we have people in our Zoom meeting today. Thank you for coming. And we're going to, in our Zoom meeting, we will have the meeting for an hour. Then we'll of course have our question and answer period for 20 minutes. And then we give you about a 10-minute break. And then we move into our premiere service. For those of you over on the Zoom side, we're going to, we're going to go for about 50 minutes just before Ray's music section. We'll end the Zoom broadcast, and it looks like we have lots of room today. So if you want to pop, or we'll end the YouTube broadcast, and if you want to pop over to the Zoom meeting and participate in the question and answer, that will work out just fine. Thank you so much. This week, I want to thank so much Richard Johnson for his generous donation to the Kofi Fund. I'm going to introduce everyone today. Of course, Hewie isn't here, and Bob just left. So Bob had another presentation at 9 to do. It's a busy month for everybody. We're all getting back and doing lots of different things. So let me start with Ray, since Ray's right next to me up here. How the heck are you doing, Ray?
I'm doing good today. Trying to fill in for Bob. It's no easy job. Watching all the folks come in, but I'm gonna do my best.
All right. Don't forget to charge them when they're coming in. You are charging them, aren't you, right?
Whoops.
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 All right. And Julie, how are you doing?
I'm just doing great. I'm having a wonderful time. Pleasure
So what's
to be
this?
here.
You're going to talk about cars today?
I am going to talk about the movie No Time to Die and the cars in that movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that. You're not going to spoil it for me. I haven't seen the movie yet.
No, I'm not touching the plot because I just didn't even think about the plot. I was watching the car.
Oh, they're watching the cars. Okay. And Bill, you're going to be on Tech for Senior Live on Thursday.
On Thursday, yes.
Are you going to have some
I will.
gadgets for us?
I'm going to try to collect some gadgets to talk about, so we should have lots of fun.
Very good. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And we will be, for those of you who don't know about our Facebook page, we post all the latest in technology to our Facebook page. So all the latest in news articles are there. So if you want to pop over there and you want to come and have coffee and talk with us on Thursday morning, that would be great. We'll have some fun with that, Bill?
Yes, we will. I'd like to add something which has nothing to do with technology, but we're fortunate we have a member in our club who will be celebrating her 101st birthday on Thursday. And she still drives. She has a Toyota Prius that she drives back and forth to the club meetings and wherever else she might be going. She's really amazing. So
It is amazing.
I'll be wishing her a happy birthday that day.
There you go. Well, we can certainly do that. In fact, I have a birthday jingle. We'll play the birthday jingle for her, okay?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Or you can sing birthday song. What would you
No,
like?
you know what? You don't want to hear me sing.
No, okay. Okay. All right. So let's, I wanted just to move on a bit here. I'm just going to share my screen. Let's have a look here. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to bring up can everyone see that? Can you see my Pixel 6 Pro price?
Can see it.
Yes.
All right. So is everybody excited? Tuesday morning, the release of the Pixel phone. And this is, of course, the most popular leaked event that's happened over the past month. We know all about the new Pixel 6 phones, but what we were told, Bob and I, he saw this article this morning. We finally got some pricing on this because I was getting pretty depressed about it, thinking, oh man, this is going to really be crazy expensive. But it looks as though the pricing for this is going to undercut the Galaxy S21 phone. The pricing is going to be really good. The new Pixel 6, the regular one, will be $599 US, and the Pixel 6 Pro will be $898. And so that's pretty cool. I'm so excited about this. So this will be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be in, I think, at 9:30 in the morning. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you can watch the event. The other thing I wanted just to bring up today, a news item that was this week, was Best Buy. Now, you know that I talk a lot about Best Buy, and since Corey Berry took over the company about, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, the company has really changed a lot. And they've brought out and the reason I wanted to mention this, they brought out a new product that I think some of you might be interested in. And this is called, let me see if I can just make this a bit smaller. There we go. This is called Total Tech. Now, they did have a similar program like this last year. And they had 3 million subscribers. So it was a very popular program. They've changed it now to Total Tech, and the price is $199 for a year membership. Now, why is that important? Well, first of all, what you get for that is free geek support, which is 24/7. You have up to 24 months of product protection. You get free delivery. I just ordered a large TV from Best Buy, and the $50 delivery. So if you order large appliances, it's quickly going to save you some money on that. And also standard installation. I ordered a dishwasher a couple of months ago from Best Buy, and I had to have it installed, and the installation fee was around $180. So that would be included in this price as well, along to VIP access to membership, exclusive prices, free 2-day shipping, and it extends the return. So you can buy something and use it for an extended 60-day period, take it back and get your money back, along with savings on all sorts of other things. And this is, so if you are planning large purchases or you're planning on having something installed, this can be a very good product. And it's for a year, it's going to be about $200. It's $200. Not available in Canada, only in the US. So just wanted everybody, they just brought this out last week, and I thought, well, it's pretty interesting. If you are struggling with tech, you're worried about buying stuff, and you're thinking about some large appliances coming, that might be something that you may think about. All right, this is the time and what I say, Bob, are you ready to go? And Bob says, yep. So I'm going to take it over and say, Bob, are you ready to go? And he's going to say, yep. So let me just come over here and we will get on with it.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending October 15th, 2021. Google pulls ads for stalkerware. Google pulled several ads for violating its policy against promoting stalkerware, surveillance app that encourage users to spy on their spouses or significant others. TechCrunch found 5 app makers skirting Google's no-tolerance policy in various ways, such as using the ad to send users to a web page that then pushed the stalkerware angle. The app developers took advantage of the gray areas in the policy, which allowed ads for surveillance apps targeted at parents to keep track of their children or workplaces to keep track of their employees' devices. We do not allow ads promoting spyware for partner surveillance, a Google spokesperson told TechCrunch. We immediately removed the ads promoting spyware for partner surveillance, a Google spokesperson told TechCrunch. We immediately remove the ads that violate this policy and will continue to track emerging behaviors to prevent bad actors from trying to evade our detection systems. Avast security evangelist Louis Carones feels this is a step in the right direction. Stalkerware is a growing threat. In the last couple of years, it has increased dramatically. Last year alone, after COVID-19 lockdown measures were applied, we saw a 51% increase in the use of stalkerware and spyware apps. At Avast, we have been focusing our effort on protecting against these threats. Avast is part of the Coalition Against Stalkerware. Singapore rolls out patrol robot trial. For 3 weeks in September, the Singapore government performed a trial run on 2 patrol robots, one monitoring a housing estate and the other a shopping center. The robots were on wheels and equipped with 7 cameras each. Their function was to detect undesirable social behavior, which included smoking in prohibited areas, parking bicycles improperly, and breaching coronavirus social distancing rules. The government says the robots are needed to address a labor crunch, but some residents find the increasing amount of surveillance in the country unnerving. For more on this story, see The Guardian. Intuit warns of QuickBook phishing attacks. An email phishing campaign impersonating QuickBooks is trying to steal phony renewal payments from users. Intuit warned its customers that this was an ongoing campaign, and it advised its customers who received one of the messages not to click any links embedded in the email or open any attachments. According to Bleeping Computer, another email phishing scam preying on QuickBooks customers is an attempt to get users to call a phone number in order to upgrade to QuickBooks 2021. Once victims call the number, they are guided through a process that results in the scammers gaining full control of the account. CIA funding arm invests $1.6 million in Wicker. Encrypted chat platform Wicker has received about $1.6 million from InQtel, a nonprofit investment firm started by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, according to public disclosure records reviewed by Motherboard. Amazon Web Services acquired Wicker in June, which was after the fund had been transferred. Wicker seemed to be the U.S. government's preferred vendor for encryption, as the Department of Defense uses a Wicker product and the U.S. Customs and Border Protection has a $900,000 contract with the company. Google activating two-step verification by default for millions of accounts. In a blog post titled "Making Sign-In Safer and More Convenient," Google announced that by the end of 2021, it would auto-enroll 150 million users in two-step verification. The company said it would also require 2 million YouTube creators to turn on two-step verification by the end of the year. Two-step verification has been core to Google's own security practices, and today we make it seamless for our users with a Google prompt, which requires a simple tap on your mobile device to prove it's really you trying to sign in. The blog post said, Google is choosing to auto-enroll users because it said, "We know the best way to keep our users safe is to turn on our security protection by default." Two-step verification is another term for multi-factor authentication, which helps all users stay secure. Linked out in China. Microsoft will shut down LinkedIn in China in response to increasing regulations and censorship, company officials said yesterday. Debuting in the country in 2014, the professional networking site has become the last major American social platform left in the Chinese market. The decision comes despite years of LinkedIn attempting to comply with government demands. including blocking journalists' profiles from being viewed. Twitter and Facebook were blocked in 2009, while Google exited China in 2010 and dropped a follow-up effort known as Project Dragonfly in 2018 that would have complied with Beijing's censorship demands. Microsoft said it would introduce a separate jobs-only app in the country later this year. China's government has developed the world's most extensive and restrictive internet censorship infrastructure. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Gen Z doesn't care about online privacy, but maybe they should. Gen Z is the first generation to grow up as true digital natives, but even though these people grew up online, Gen Z doesn't appear as concerned about online privacy and security as older generations. We walk through how to help guide and protect members of Gen Z as they move into adulthood. For more, follow the link listed below. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Bob. Bob, wherever you are, thank you so much for a great talk. We're now going to, just going to mute all. We had a little background noise there. If you have to unmute, just unmute yourself. We're going to move on now, and we're going to go into James Bond. Dewey, we're going to learn all about cars and the new movie. This should be exciting. Let's see where we go.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is No Time to Die, Cars in the Movie. On July 26th, my Tech Talk news update ended with a somewhat whimsical item regarding British automaker Aston Martin's then recent unveiling of its $1.3 million hybrid plug-in supercar, the Valhalla, implying that it would play a part in the upcoming movie, James Bond film, No Time to Die. Publicity about the Friday, October 8th theater's only release of No Time to Die were rampant several weeks ago. At the spur of the moment on Saturday afternoon, the 9th, I decided to see the movie at a nearby theater. My seat was dead center and close to a huge rounded screen. And before the main feature, a special film demonstrated the theater's incredible Dolby Atmos multi-dimensional sound. The clear and immersive soundscape was absolutely amazing, marred only by the theater's rock concert loud audio levels, which I hate so much. As for James Bond and that stunning Aston Martin Valhalla, Bond was never seen behind the wheel of one. However, the Valhalla does appear briefly in one scene during Bond's phone call with a fellow called M, who happens to be in a wind tunnel standing in front of a gleaming Valhalla. That was puzzling, and I was disappointed. But as a guy with the car gene in my DNA, I relished the wide variety of vehicles driven by Bond, and of course, driven mostly in high-speed chase scenes. Lots of fun. Afterwards, I found an article on No Time to Die with lots of car photos at motorauthority.com. It had just been published hours earlier, and I'd like to share some photos and tech stuff on the filming of No Time to Die. The photo here at the right shows Dan Craig, James Bond 007, with the original classic 1963 Aston Martin DB5. Actually, 10 DB5 models were used in multiple chase scenes in No Time to Die, 2 real ones and 8 replicas. Thanks to technology and Neil Layton, shown here, the film's action vehicle supervisor coordinator, neither of the 2 real DB5s was harmed in the filming. Layton's company worked with Aston Martin to produce the 8 fully functional replicas, which you couldn't tell from the originals, in just 6 months. Layton's DB5 replicas were built on a special chassis wrapped with carbon fiber bodies and used powerful inline 6-cylinder engines speculated to be BMW's 382 horsepower 3-liter turbo. Each stunt car had a racing pedal box type tranny, a quick steering rack, a limited slip differential, and a racing safe driver's seat in a roll cage. Some cars could even be driven remotely from a quarter of a mile away. Amazing technology. The DB5 stars in a memorable scene in which Bond does donuts with his DB5 while machine guns popping out from the headlights are mowing down a bevy of bad guys. I'll tell you, it was absolutely beautiful. Other vehicles driven by James Bond in No Time to Die include a 1974 Aston Martin Vantage V8 that sort of resembles a Ford Mustang of that era, a recent model Aston Martin DBS Super Leggera, which is a 715 horsepower coupe that would set you back over 300 grand US and even more in Canada. By the way, it's speculated to be the car of choice for Bond's 007 successor, a Black woman named Nomi. And now I've let the secret out. Nomi is the new 007, and she's in this movie. Also among the vehicles, there was a vintage Land Rover Series 3 SVR model. 6 SVRs were used in filming No Time to Die, and 2 of them happened to meet their demise. And also an early 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser caught here in midair. And finally, in one of the most exciting moments in No Time to Die, Bond is barreling down a cobblestone street. This is in an Italian village like the one in my background, trying to escape a pack of nasty guys driving Jaguar XF sedans. Bond rounds the corner to see villagers leaving church right after a funeral. And so he aims left and rockets up a steep stone staircase and launches over a stone wall at the top. Marvelous animation, I thought. But it wasn't animation. It was a real Triumph scrambler, an expert rider, and a real jump. This very grainy photo of the jump seems to be the only one available. The motorcycle is shown, if you look carefully in the center of the photo, upper center, it's shown in midair, vaulting over the wall. It was just incredible. Of course, it wasn't actor Dan Craig riding, but rather a professional cyclist named Paul Edmondson, a 5-time world enduro bike champion, doing it on his 50th birthday. Well, that should give a lot of hope to senior citizens. In fact, he also did the jump a number of times in rehearsals. And if you'd like to see this without going to the movie, there are a number of videos available of this, of him doing this on YouTube. Just do a search in YouTube and use these words, you'll find it right away. No Time to Die motorcycle jump. Use those words and you'll get to see it many times over. Switching gears, when Britain's Prince Charles turned 21 in 1969, his mother, Queen Elizabeth, gifted him a new 1970 Aston Martin DB6 convertible. This recent photo shows Prince Charles and his 51-year-old beauty. Boy, I'd love to have that car. In a story videotaped a week ago, Britain's Prince Charles was asked about the large carbon footprint at his elegant British estate. He replied, telling of his many and constant efforts to reduce the footprint, saying, "In fact, my old Aston Martin runs on wine and cheese." Oh, amazing statement. The environmentally conscious Prince clarified his assertion by saying his blue Aston Martin, the one you saw in the photo, was modified back in 2008 to run on, it was his request, to run on environmentally friendly surplus white wine and cheese waste, that is waste byproducts that are converted to a biofuel and then blended with 15% E85 fuel. Factory engineers were startled when the engine actually ran better on this special biofuel than on regular petrol. News articles on this startling revelation are easy to find. Also, you can find the 15-minute video interview of Prince Charles on YouTube by searching Prince Charles Aston Martin Wine and Cheese. Just use those words. Well, that's my Tech Talk story for today. Gosh, I've had so much fun. I am going to stick with this one. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and good Lord willing, we'll see you next week.
Well done. Well done. So interesting. Excellent, Dewey. Is that going to be your new? Is that going to be your new car?
Oh, gee, which one?
I went to see. I was going to say I went to see that movie and I didn't catch any of those cars, so I don't know what I was watching.
Were you at the right
all
movie?
there?
After you reviewed it, I think I see the ones I missed.
Dude, have you seen the Michelin YouTube video? They reinvented the wheel. It's a tire without air.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. That.
All right. Ray, you've got something for us today?
Yeah, let me give you a little bit of an update here.
Okay.
Share my screen here. Whoops, let me just. So most of you have seen the music in the car presentation I did a few weeks back, and I'm learning with this type of topic that there's always something new coming out. So I've added a few new slides to my presentation, and I've learned that this, as I said, the automobile infotainment systems really are, let me just move this out of my way here. It's constantly changing and goes well beyond just playing your favorite tunes while driving on the interstate or down the road. So I've had to update the music in the car presentation by adding additional slides. And as you know, I do this for computer clubs around the country as part of the APCUG Speakers Bureau. So today I'm going to share some of the latest information I've added. So you, the loyal fans of Tech for Senior, will be seeing these new slides for the first time. Now, the first slide I'm going to show you is one from the earlier presentation, just as a reminder. I was talking about the time about other options, and I mentioned that they include Android Auto, and I mentioned that they include Apple's CarPlay. These are where your phones are connected to your infotainment system through the USB port in the car. And then I also talked a little bit about Amazon Echo Auto, just what you need by adding the A app to your phone in your car. So now a little bit more about what Android Auto is. The pros of it, and this is the biggest pro. Many cars, when you order the navigation system from the factory, that could cost as much as $800 just to add that to the car, brand new car. So by just plugging in your Android phone, you can use the map program on your screen. And then the use of the phone features that you are familiar with, such as music apps. So as an example, you don't have to replicate all your favorite songs with a flash drive for the car head unit. You can just use your Android phone and the music app on that phone. And then, of course, using the words, "Okay, Google," you can get to your destination with real-time updates while en route, including perhaps traffic delays. You can check your calendar events, listen to news, podcast programs. You can even ask your web browser questions to get an answer. The cons, though, there's always cons. The cell phone uses the data, which can add up if you don't have an unlimited plan. And the cell phone, for now, needs to be plugged into the car's USB port. I've seen some wireless methods that require third-party apps, and they seem to be convoluted to install and actually operate. But I bet you improvements to this method are being developed as I speak. Now, my cell phone only has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it really seems sluggish when responding to commands using Android Auto. So this is what happens when you plug in your Android phone to the USB connection in your car. Your screen now shows, instead of what would be standard for that screen, it's showing you your icons that come with the Android phone. So in my particular case, I had two screen sets. And the first one gives me the maps, gives me YouTube music. But let's say I want to listen to news as I'm driving. I could bring up news. Here's my second set of options, messages. I have a button on my phone for podcasts. There's a few podcasts I like to listen to. So rather than listening to music, I can easily bring up these podcasts. So having your Android phone plugged in does give you a lot more options than the head unit by itself provides. Now, here's a term you're going to be hearing about more in the future. And I want to mention the differences between Android Auto and Android Automotive. So as I talked about Android Auto, you use your phone connected via USB, and you will be able to experience through the car's compatible vehicle and infotainment system all the type of apps that are on your phone. But what is Android Automotive? Well, that's an actual operating system that's running the in-vehicle hardware and providing the infotainment experience. So this will be an option for new cars. In fact, it probably is now on certain new cars, where if you're buying a brand new car, you can say, I want to have the Android Automotive option, and that will be built into, and that will be the operating system. And that's going to be able to, this new car will replace the head units for older cars. What about Apple CarPlay? Well, if you connect your iPhone to your car's infotainment system, you'll be able to access all the apps that are on your phone and iPhone, including Siri. Siri can, with voice operation, allow you safer driving because you're using voice commands. Same way, connection is made via the car's USB port. Wireless connectivity is available, but it's not common. This, again, is somewhat of a newer technology that they're still trying to work the kinks out. But Apple CarPlay brings a familiar interface for iPhone users, but only to cars that support it. And by using Apple Music or other compatible music streaming services, your song selection can be chosen using Siri. So to use CarPlay, you need at least an iPhone 5 or newer running the iOS 7.1 version or later. And again, it all has to be on a car that or vehicle that supports this. Hey, just imagine the infotainment system that's going to be in the eventual Apple electric car. And last but not least is the Echo Auto. I'm not going to use the A word. And this is hands-free Echo in the car. And so there's an example. There's a cell phone and that small little device laying next to it. That's what the Echo Auto is. So again, it's hands-free in your car. Mostly all the features you would use at home are now available on the road. And it connects either via Bluetooth or, and this is really important, with the auxiliary wired connection on the older vehicles. I think it's a bit pricey at $50. So I ordered a certified refurbished for under $20. Now it hasn't come yet. I'm expecting it this week. And as soon as I get a chance to test it out, more details will follow. So that's it. And let me stop sharing and I am back.
Thanks, Ray. That's really interesting. Lots more to come on that. Wow, what a changing technology, eh?
And every day there's something new coming out, like I said. So this is a presentation that is going to always be updated, I think, at least for the near term.
I get so confused with all the different terminologies. Like, you know, it's so similar. Yeah.
Imagine Android Auto and Android Automotive. I think most people would think that was the same. But
yeah, it's crazy. Eh? All right, Hewie, are you ready to roll? Yes, I am. So here we are. Here is Hewie's segment for today.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hubs, extensions, docking stations, UPSs, and more. I'm Hewie Poplock. Today we're going to talk about connecting to your computer or from your computer. First, we're going to talk about hubs. Now, what are hubs? Hubs are something you plug into your computer to give you more plugs. This one is one that sits under a blue iMac. Here is a typical hub. This is an Anker USB-C hub, 5-in-1 USB-C adapter. You'll see that At the end, it plugs into your USB-C port on your computer, whichever computer you're using. You then can plug in two USB 3 devices. You can plug in an HDMI to send it to a projector or to another screen. And you can also put in an SD card or a micro SD card and have it read it. This is a very simple device that allows you to have an SD card or a mini SD card reader by plugging into your USB-C port. It also is a USB-C device, plugs into your computer in the USB-C port. You can have an audio jack there. There's a USB-C slot. There's two USB-A slots. There's two HDMI ports. There's a gigabit Ethernet connector. I have on my computer, it's a 16-port USB data hub and charger, and gives me 16 USB ports with individual switches for each one. They have stowaways where you can put the connector so it is not lost, it doesn't catch on anything, and it's easy to travel with. You don't want it dangling because it could pull out, get caught, or eventually loosen up the cable and be unusable. Now, what about a docking station? Well, one of my computers, I had to purchase a docking station because one of my ports didn't work any longer. And so this is a USB docking station. It would connect to the host, in other words, to the computer, using a USB cable. It also is powered, and it gave me extra ports, including two USB 3 ports, audio in and audio out, some USB 2 ports, an Ethernet port, and then an HDMI and a DVI port so that I could connect to either monitors or projectors that need one or both of those connectors. Now, what about an extension cord for your computer or for your devices? Here's one that's called an octopus. And what it does, it gives you 4 extensions from one plug, but they are individualized so that if you have to put a power block on them, they're not going to interfere with each other and block one of the connectors. Here is something that I've been using for years, and these are 1-foot extensions. This allows me to have several blocks on a power strip. Talking about power strips and surge protectors. You'll see here that we have power strip, surge protector, power strip with USB, and just a power strip but with a flat plug. These are all various types of power strips and surge protectors that you can buy. So, a power strip gives you the ability to plug multiple devices into a single wall outlet. A surge protector is a type of power strip which is specifically designed to withstand a power surge and keep your electronics safe. A power strip offers no additional protection. If there's a surge, then your expensive TV can get fried and destroyed. A power strip does nothing besides give you extra sockets to plug into and an easy on-off switch. If you want any protection at all, you need a surge protector. A surge protector is designed to create a protective barrier around the products plugged into the protector. And you want to look for joules rating on the packaging. Only surge protectors will have this rating. Joules are a unit of measurement for energy, like watts or calories. They measure how long your appliance will be protected. Sometimes it may only take one massive surge in power to exceed the number of joules that your equipment is protected against. But sometimes it could take 10 or 15 little surges to do this. Keep in mind that the number of joules your power strip protects against works somewhat like a reservoir. When you initially purchase your surge protector, you may see a label of 2,000 joules, but this will deplete over time. As your surge protector takes hits from the power strikes, the level of protection will diminish, either in one massive strike or over time. An older surge protector may not be protecting you at all. What is an electrical power surge? An electrical power surge is a spike in your building's electrical current that usually lasts less than a second. Although a voltage surge is brief, it can cause damage to both your electronics and your appliances. In extreme cases, a power surge can even cause a fire. These spikes in power can occur for a few reasons. Faulty wiring. When you have faulty wiring that cannot withstand the electrical power of a voltage surge, you are more susceptible to them. High-powered devices turning on or off. When the motor of a high-powered device, like an air conditioning unit or a refrigerator, turns on, you may be subjected to a fluctuation in power. The lights may dim. Might be an indication of that. Lightning strike. A lightning strike can cause severe voltage surge, which can burn out TVs, computers, and so on. So, surge protectors are power strips that absorb excess power surges. A power strip is a power box with sockets to attach plugs. So, some tips on power strips. Surge protectors or power strips. What one are you trying to purchase? And make sure you know which one you're getting. Joules are a measure of protection. So if it lists how many joules, you want to take a look at that. And that means you're getting a surge protector. Some come with a warranty on your stuff. So if the surge gets through it and damages your device, you may be able to get it from that power strip company. Why you probably don't need a power conditioner. A power conditioner is different than a power strip or a surge protector. A power conditioner is when you get fluctuations in your electricity. In other words, like a brownout is a condition of power. You're still getting power, but you're not getting enough of it. And so some UPSs have power conditioning built into them. And so if you have that issue in your building or in your room or in your apartment, your home, you might want to consider a UPS that has power conditioning. Always get more outlets than you need right now because you're going to need them. Get one with enough spacing for the big plugs or get those little extensions like I had. But if you get it with the spacing already there, it does make a difference. And it's less things to plug in and less things to worry about. Power spikes can come through or to phone or cable lines too. And USB is great, but check the amps. And so you might want to make sure that you are getting enough power in those USB plugs in that power strip. If you're traveling, get a portable power strip because a lot of times when you're in a hotel, they are very limited in the number of plugs. And if you put your own strip in there, you can put 2 or 3 devices at the same time. Remember that none of these last forever, and you do need to replace them. That old power strip or that old surge protector may need to be replaced. Now, we talked about joules. A joule rating tells you how much energy the surge protector can absorb and thus safely protect the equipment plugged into it. The higher the joule rating, the more robust the surge protector and the longer it will likely protect. Joule ratings are one of the first features you'll see noted on the product box. If you don't see it, that should be a red flag. That means you're either buying a power strip that has no surge protection or the rating is so low that the manufacturer chose not to call it out. Anyone serious about protecting their device from surge and their homes from a potential fire should stay away from any power product that does not have a solid joule rating. Now, what about UPSs or uninterruptible power sources, not the brown trucks? When should you use a UPS? An uninterruptible power source gives peace of mind that your work and your devices are protected in the event of a brownout or a total loss of power. Many UPS devices allow multiple outlets for connecting your entire system or a number of important appliances or accessories. Consider using a UPS all the time for your desktop computer to ensure that you never suffer data loss. Understanding that a UPS will not provide a long-term power supply to finish working is important to your satisfaction level as an end user. In the event of a power loss, use the UPS to give yourself enough time to save your work and find an alternate power source or to shut down. Now, when do you use both a UPS and a surge protector? If you're trying to decide between a UPS and a surge protector, remember that you may not need both at the same time. That said, you can certainly use these devices independently to prepare your equipment for possible voltage spikes, brownouts, and power outages. Plug your valuable or complex electronics into the power strip and use the UPS for your computer and other devices where you may lose work if the power goes out. Plug printers and other accessories into power strips with surge protection. Divide and conquer to ensure all your devices are safely protected from excess voltage during an unexpected power surge. When using UPS and surge protectors, especially when using both devices at the same time, there are some important safety tips to keep in mind. Don't plug a surge protector into a UPS outlet. Always use a wall socket instead to avoid drawing too much power from your UPS, resulting in efficient user experience and possibly triggering an overload. Don't plug a UPS into a surge protector. Likewise, it's not generally advisable to plug your uninterrupted power source into a surge protector either. Plugging the UPS directly into the wall helps ensure the most consistent power goes directly to the UPS and limits the times it will go to battery when it should remain online. This helps the UPS to remain charged for immediate response, and built-in surge protection adds that layer of defense that also comes standard with a surge protector. Get the right number of outlets. When purchasing either a UPS or surge protector or power strip, one important consideration is the number of outlets. Of course, you want to buy a device with enough outlets to support the number of devices that you want to plug in. It can be a good idea to purchase a device with more outlets than you need now, so you'll have some extra room to plug in any new devices you add to your setup. For surge protectors, check absorption ratings and clamping voltage. When purchasing a surge protector, two important specs are the absorption rating and clamping voltage. The absorption rating is how much power the surge protector can withstand in a surge. Look for surge protectors with an absorption rating of at least 600 joules. The clamping voltage is the voltage at which the surge protector will be activated to protect your equipment. Look for devices with a clamping voltage of 400 volts or lower. Here are some UPSs. Now here's a chart showing the run times on UPSs. Obviously you can't read that. What I did is I summarized a few items so you get an idea. But what you're mostly looking at is at a very low wattage, you can get a couple hours out of a UPS. But if you've got a computer plugged into it and a couple other items in the UPS portion of the plug, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in the next couple of slides, you want to shut them down. So this is a typical UPS. Actually, it's a UPS 850. That they're showing there. Here's what the back of a UPS looks like. Notice there are two sets of plugs. One is a battery backup and the other is a surge suppressor. So you don't need an external surge suppressor. You can plug some items in here, and if it goes to battery, those items will shut off. And the battery backup side, those plugs will remain on as long as there's battery, even without power. So then you want to power down the items using a lot of battery so that it will last longer. You'll notice also your network in and out. So if you've got network cables, you can actually be suppressing and protecting network cabling as well with this particular UPS. Here is another UPS. This is a 450 volt amp from a different company. And again, you'll see that there are some devices that are surge protected and some items that are battery protected. And the battery protected ones are also surge protected. So in summary, we talked about hubs, we talked about extensions, we talked about power strips, we talked about surge suppressors, docking stations, and uninterruptible power supply or UPSs. Thank you for joining Hubs, Extensions, Docking Stations, UPS, and more. Again, I'm Hewie Poplock. Thank you.
Wow, that was pretty good. We'll have to thank Hewie when he gets back next week. We'll please remind me to do that on next Monday morning, and we'll thank Hewie for a really great presentation. Just before we get ready for Ray's music segment, I want to thank everybody who is over on our live streaming service on YouTube. It's time for us to end the service with you. Don't forget, we do have the premiere service that we're going to start at 1/2 this is a service that we do to reuse some of the material we've done. And so I went back this last week and looked at episode number 30. And so on our premiere service at 1/2, I'm going to be talking on part 2, which is of making of tech for seniors. So this will be all about YouTube and uploading videos and editing and things like that. Dewey, this is the first time when Dewey's come on stream now a year ago where he's on our staff, and Dewey's going to talk on Zoom settings. And then Huey's going to talk on some Chromebook issues on how to update your Chrome OS. These are pre-recorded and taken from past editions of our show. And this is for you to use with your computer club. So be sure in that it's information that's there. Everything is stripped out, so it's just simply the actual part of the show on that particular topic.